up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new YouTube video, a brand new episode of The Atmosphere. Brought to you by the Lead Sports Media. I'm your host, Cameron Prichard. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter at TheLeadSM, and you can follow me on Twitter at CameronPNBA. As much fun as the Eastern Conference Series has been, as much fun as the Heat and Jimmy Butler have been, I really just feel like I need to take some time today and really focus in on this Western Conference Final. And I really want to key in on the Denver Nuggets and their extraordinary play and just how they've been proving all the doubters and all their haters wrong. Because I can talk from experience. I've just never necessarily been very high on the Nuggets, regardless of all their regular season wins, regardless of how many points they put up, the historic offensive ratings and stuff they've had throughout the last few years. I've never been fully bought into what they bring to the table, especially how it translates to the playoffs. I've just really had a knock on their defense, and that's the main thing, as everyone else has for sure. That, like I said, just the way they translate to the playoffs, I just feel like their game doesn't fully translate. And I've never necessarily, as a Suns fan and as just a general NBA watcher, I've never necessarily been worried about any team matching up against them. Yes, they have such a high-powered offense, and Jokic has really come into his own these last few years, which I really want to talk about today. This year, his defense has been a main talking point. Not even just him, but the rest of the team in general before the squad they've really put together for this playoff run. It's really just their defense has been the main factor into just the lack of confidence I've had. I really enjoyed what they built the last year and a half, with the addition of Aaron Gordon, the Bruce Brown addition, the KCP add-on. They've all just fit in so well, and their 1 through 6, their 1 through 7 is just so solid that when you really look at it, no matter what holes you can still sort of find in their defense, they're able to make up for it in another way defensively. And obviously, like I've said before, their offense has only even gotten better. Michael Malone has really pinpoint how to play with Jokic, really how to get the other guys involved around Jokic. Jokic himself has really figured out just the game of basketball to another level. It's kind of incredible. Obviously, he's already a back-to-back MVP. Maybe he's trying to show why he should have been a 3-time winner and Joel Embiid shouldn't have won it this year. The pick and roll him and Jamal Murray have created, it's just almost unguardable to the point where they play off each other so well. It's almost unprecedented. And then the Jamal Murray play himself. Talk about a playoff riser. The names of like Devin Booker, Jimmy Butler, LeBron James in like his prime, Jamal Murray went from averaging like 20, 25 maybe a game in the regular season. I think it was like 20 points a game, averaging damn near 30, I'm pretty sure now. So I'm pulling up his stats right now. I've got his 20 points per game in the regular season, so I was right there. And the NBA website is just so garbage sometimes, bro. Here we go, finally got it. He's averaging 27.9 points per game in the playoffs, so just elevating his play, averaging a whole 8 more points per game in the playoffs. He's upped his free throw percentage. He's upped his 3-point percentage. His just general field goal percentage. It's all gone up. He's getting more rebounds, averaging the same amount of assists, but his defense has spiked up even more. Like he's just doing a lot more in the playoffs than he was in the regular season. And as much as he was coming off his past injuries, you definitely have to remember that when you think about Jamal Murray, that when it comes to this playoffs, it seems like he's almost taken just this incredible leap. He's seeing the floor on such a different level. I know he's had his ups and downs scoring-wise. The first quarter in this Game 3, they needed some sort of scoring. You can tell Jokic throughout the entire game wasn't getting it going, and the other guys weren't going yet. Jamal Murray put his stamp on the game early. It's a good answer from his Game 2 performance, where he was struggling throughout the game and then really took over in that fourth quarter. It was almost a good reverse to see him really put his fingerprints on the game early and take advantage. And as good as their offense has always been and will continue to be, the way I was harping on their defense earlier, they've made it such a point to take initiative on defense and focus on their matchups. And guys like KCP and Aaron Gordon have made it their responsibility to take on the tough matchups out there. You've got Aaron Gordon taking on the LeBron matchup, KCP doing a good job on the guards. Dennis Schroeder, D'Angelo Russell has had a terrible series this series. But even when Jokic is off the floor and the Nuggets go small, Aaron Gordon is taking initiative on the AD matchup and is just making it tough on him, staying big, staying tall, and that's what the Nuggets have that they didn't really have before. They've got a lot of length, they've got a lot more grit and tenacity than they've had before. My personal favorite guy off the bench in the entire playoff run for the Nuggets this year has been Bruce Brown. Oh my goodness. I need that guy in a Suns jersey because his fire, his hustle, his IQ, he's so smart. He has so many cuts. He handles the ball for them. He plays great defense for them. He almost just does it all for them off the bench. Just such a solid sixth man. He doesn't necessarily bring the scoring spark that you think of in a traditional sixth man off the bench for you, but he does all the intangibles that guys just don't do sometimes, and he just brings, like I said, a fire off the bench. So if a guy like Jokic is off the floor, or whoever he checks in for, KCP or Aaron Gordon or anyone, he's replacing them and keeping the level up. He's keeping starter level energy. And when it comes to the playoffs, that's what you need from your bench guys. Your rotation's short, and you're only going to play so many guys off the bench anyways. You need who does come off the bench to be able to keep that energy up, keep pace with the guys that are on the floor, because they're going to be playing a lot of minutes now, and just be ready for whenever they're needed. That Jeff Green, I love the Jeff Green minutes they've been getting against the Lakers this series. He wasn't necessarily as needed against the Suns in the last series. That's where they were getting great Christian Braun minutes. He was bringing great defensive energy and was running the floor in transition a lot. But Malone has made it a point to give Jeff Green a lot of minutes this series, and like last game, no matter how old he is, you're always going to feel his impact. And Michael Malone made a great choice to throw Jeff Green out, take advantage of, like I said, the size that they're going to need, and he's made his impact. Speaking of Michael Malone, I love that guy. That guy is insane. All his post-game press conferences, keeping the chip on his shoulder, keeping the chip on his team's shoulder, you know. Wow, I've never been up 1-0 in a series and have so much talk about the other team, you know. He just knows. He sees it all. He reads it all. And I think he makes it a point to just, like I said, he keeps the chip on his shoulder and keeps the chip on his team's shoulder. But the in-game, like, mic'd up where you see the huddles, I feel like he does such a good job of keeping them engaged, you know. We're in the Western Conference Finals, you know, you got to lay it all out there. He's really good at just keeping them so locked in. I just watched a video of the team in the locker room post-game after Game 3, and he's just shouting out everyone, what everyone's doing, giving praise where praise is due, and it's just so cool, the chain that they have there. The camaraderie between this Nuggets team this year just feels so much different than it has before. And that's something they have over a lot of teams coming into this playoffs. The continuity, the years that these guys have played with each other, or the year or two that these guys have played with each other, definitely seems like it's paying off, and it's finally just all clicking. It's finally all clicking. I think I've got this right here. The Jamal Murray, Jokic pick and rolls are generating 1.2 points per possession, like that. They're just clicking on kind of like an unprecedented level. That pick and roll just can't be guarded because they play off each other so well. They're so in tune with each other. And all the other guys, Jokic just sees the floor so well and is so connected to everyone else who's on the floor at all times that any cuts guys like Bruce Brown are able to make and guys like KCP are able to make, Jokic sees them before the defenders are even able to react to what's happening. And they get so many backdoor cuts off, I mean, pick and pops, pick and rolls. Jokic off the short roll can make that extra pass there. Their offense is just so deadly out of so many different defenses. You can throw no matter what. The zone, you know, they, like I just said, they cut a lot, so the zone is difficult. The pick and roll is hard to defend out of the drop because Jamal Murray has been absolutely on fire this playoff series. So you can throw as many schemes at them as you want, but it seems like they've really just locked it down and have really fine-tuned their offense so much that they have counters to just about everything. And that just kind of goes to show the level that Jokic plays at. All the counters are almost just him reading the defense and reacting before they can even react to it. Also, I've yet to do it, so I want to give a quick shout out to Michael Porter Jr., who has been absolutely playing his ass off this series, but last game went nuts. He absolutely filled the box score more than I've ever seen him fill. Michael sometimes swing the rock. Porter ended with 14 points, 10 rebounds, double-double, yep, and 6 assists. Damn near on triple-double watch, bro. That's crazy. I've been impressed with what he's brought on the defensive end. Guys like him and Jokic are going to be targeted for the most part, with especially who else they have out there. So, he's made it a point to use his length, use his size, and do what he can for the matchups he's matched up against. And all in all, the theme of this Nuggets team, I can just appreciate the tenacity he brings in, night out, whether he's getting the looks he wants, isn't getting the looks he wants, whether his shots falling, whether his shots not falling. Like, it was he shot 4 of 11, 4 of 10 from 3. So, like, he knows his role, he knows to let that thing fly, and he just has to pick up his slack in the other areas, like rebounding with his size and athleticism, which he did in Game 3. And they just need plays like that from him to bring them really over that. So as down as I've been on the Nuggets, I mean, coming into the playoffs and in the past, you know, I know when to take accountability, and seeing it firsthand against the Suns in that second round, it was just crazy. And it's really fun to watch when it's not against your own team. It's really fun to watch when it's not against your own team. I said in my last video, For some reason, a lot of people thought the Lakers figured something out on defense, kinda against the Nuggets with their Rui Hachimura adjustment. And I don't know, they're such a defensive-minded team. I guess they thought they'd carry some momentum off that going into LA. But man, I made it a point to say that the Nuggets have always been such a high-powered offense that the problem wasn't going to be scoring for them no matter what. But if you really think the Nuggets figured something out with Rui Hachimura on Jokic, you're going to be quite surprised come the next game. Game 3, what we saw in Game 4, what we're going to be seeing. I made it a point to say in my last video that yes, the Nuggets technically, had more questions coming out of Game 2 than the Lakers did, but that's because we saw the adjustments that the Lakers already made. The Nuggets were going to have to counter that, and clearly they did in this Game 3, putting up another 118-point game. Like, there was a stop. It hit the Thanos. Them scoring 115 is inevitable, like there's no way around it. I don't know, just been impressed with the Nuggets. I just wanted to get a lot off my chest. I don't even know if any of it made sense, but their offense has been such high powered, and I just wanted to give a shout out to all their guys, man. They should obviously and probably will be favorites, whoever they match up against in the finals, whether it be the Celtics or the Heat. That's been such a great series over there. When it comes down to it, I think I gotta take the Nuggets winning it all. They're really clicking on such a unprecedented level. The continuity is really showing, and they're doing it on both ends, which has always been the question. I've always been so down on them for their defense, but they've really shown their potential. They've shown the ceiling that they have around Jokic with good defensive pieces and good team defense. So it's good to see. It's fun to see. It's fun to watch. Anything, we got Celtics Heat again tonight. I'm excited to see what Jimmy Butler does again. It's a show. It's a nonstop show with that guy. So that's like, comment, subscribe on the video, share with all your friends. Go ahead, comment if you think the Nuggets are gonna be, if they should be the favorites going into the finals. And I think that's all I got. I'll see you next time. Thanks.